Actors, you made it. And guess what? That already puts you ahead of 90% of the people who say that they want this. But let's be clear, okay? Actors, you made it. And guess what? Woo, little bit of feedback. So let's be clear. This isn't just some chill acting class. It is not a Netflix binge. This is screen acting school, and we will ask more of you. So, this free class, it's not really free. You are paying with your time, your focus, and your willingness to do the hard stuff. The stuff that most actors avoid. Because while they're winging it, hoping that their charm kind of carries them through the scene, you'll be here training like a pro. So go ahead, grab a cuppa, shake off that noise, because this is where the shift happens. Now, I have to tell you, something that honestly blows Casey and I away is that actors take this class and they don't subscribe to the channel. That's kind of like showing up to rehearsal and skipping the script, right? You miss the training, the mindset shifts, the behind the scenes gold that actually books the role. So if you're not subscribed, you're not really in this. You're winging it. And in this business, that shows. If you've already subscribed, we love that. You get it. Not yet? Fix it now. Click that button and stay in the room because taking action is how careers start.
Absolutely. Chelsea subscribed, Jules subscribed. That's wonderful. Okay, so here's what you're going to walk away with today. Oh, I see Paul Fisher needs back in. Here what you're going to walk away with today. You're going to learn these three things. You're going to learn how to use archetypes to become instantly castable and unforgettable. So how to do it. Why normal is a cage for most actors. Now we like normies, but we want you to break out of that cage and build a career that books. And the third thing you're going to learn is the kind of mentorship that actually works. It's not sweet, but it's transformational and it's relentless. We mentor like mean girls, but our actors book. We've been coaching for over 20 years and we've helped actors book everything from commercials to leads in the #1 shows in the world and feature films that win Oscars. Not once, not twice, but countless times. So this is how our actors book roles without connections, even if you think you suck at self-tapes, because we're relentless mentors and we will not let you fail if you're willing to do the work. Capiche? So in this class, we're going to share something that we have never shared before. And that is exactly how we mentor like mean girls and how that guarantees clients who do the work will book.
Yeah, listen, our mentorship is loving, but it's relentless and it's demanding, and we will not allow average performances, okay?
Nope. So for those of you who are new here, and there's quite a few of you, hello, hello. I'm Casey, your acting and audition coach. I live in a little cabin in the woods with 100 chickens, 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a pretty fabulous cast of humans. I built a life that I love on purpose. I help actors do the same thing by teaching you how to deliver fearless, grounded work that gets you noticed.
That's right. And I'm Donna-Marie. I'm your mindset and visualization coach here at Screen Acting School. I live in the city because, well, I thrive on people, really great coffee, momentum, and helping actors believe in themselves so fiercely that casting can't ignore you. So that means that you get up and you do the work even when you're scared, even when you don't know what you're doing, even when you know that you kind of look like a fool, because what you're doing is training for the day that you get the audition that books, and that is that life-changing role for you. Okay, so between us, we've coached actors who've walked the red carpet at the Oscars, the Golden Globes, the Emmys. Our clients don't just book, they break through. #1 shows, life-changing roles, and global careers. So we come with receipts. And listen, we don't play small, and we don't want you to either. So if you're here to actually do this, we've got you.
We want greatness. We will be unrelenting to get you there, but if you don't put in the work, neither will we. What we do has an insane success rate and has for many years. 80% of our clients get agents, audition, get callbacks, pins, and bookings. Now, of course, this free class is to show you the work we do so that you'll take Audition Plus with us. We have an agenda. And of course, we have an agenda because we believe we're the best coaches and mentors that actors can find. We don't want you to coach with someone who booked a one-liner in X-Files in the 90s. I mean, you could, if that's the career you want.
Yeah, but listen, we want you to work with us. We help actors book lead roles without wasting years of their lives making those common mistakes, and you'll do this by mastering our core four self-tape method.
Uh-huh. So I was really inspired to teach this class in particular about how we mentor because I was watching the character Bertha Russell from The Gilded Age. Is anybody watching that? Is anybody watching The Gilded Age? If you're not, you should be. The acting is phenomenal. And I was thinking about how Donna-Marie and I are very much like her in some ways. Oh, and a little behind the scenes magic for you. This is really cool. The Gilded Age is turning Carrie Coon into a full-blown star. Huge. And guess what? One of our own, Leah Day, I don't know if she's here today. I don't see her here today, but one of our own, Leah Day, her wife is the photographer on Carrie's latest show where she's starring with Bella Ramsey. And Leah messaged us from set because she and her daughter were both cast in the same project. So it's a full-on family booking moment.
Yes, we
Isn't that
love
cool?
that. That is the kind of story that we love around here because listen, when you do the work, doors open for you, maybe even for your kids.
Mm-hmm. So people think Bertha on The Gilded Age is a villain because she forces her daughter to marry a duke, a man she doesn't know or love. But I see a mentor, someone who is misunderstood, someone who's feared, someone who's hated, but is also fierce, brilliant, and deeply loving in her own ruthless way.
Yeah, and this is personal for us, okay? Because listen, we coach like Bertha, not to coddle you. I hate to break it to you, but to raise you up, right? To prepare you for the fight. Because listen, being an actor, it's brutal, but it's also beautiful and brave. So when you're in the audition room or on set, we're not holding your hand. And we shouldn't be. That's not mentorship. That's codependence, then, right?
Mm-hmm. So when do you think you really need us? You need us to get you into fighting form before the arena, when you're afraid to risk, when your choices are fearful and careful and safe, when you're about to sell yourself short and call it respectful when it should be dangerous, both in your audition and your relationship with your agent. That's where your mentor steps in to challenge you, to remind you of who you're becoming. And we recently did this with Beth Cantor, or Cantra, whatever, Cantet. I spelled her name wrong the other day. We recently did this with you because your goal, we want you to bring more humor to your work. We got to push you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because listen, it isn't our job to just make you book, it's to make you grow. We're your compass, right? But we're not your crutch. So we guide the creation of your identity as an artist, but you do the work. You do it in the self tapes, in the coaching room, in the choices you make about love, rejection, risk, and truth, all of it.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't see, is anyone watching the Gilded Age? Is anyone watching it? What the hell are you people doing with your life? It is such a good show. Okay.
Okay, I
Well,
think everyone's going to be watching it after this. Okay,
you all have to go watch it.
I'll start.
You don't have to be watching the show to understand this. I'll give you a brief synopsis so you understand a little bit of it. It's on your watch list. Good, Chelsea. That's good. Okay. So Bertha and Gladys. Bertha's new money in the early part of the late part of the 1800s, early part of the 1900s in the Gilded Age. She's new money. She's an outsider in New York society, much like actors when they're starting are outsiders in acting, right? She's a very ambitious woman in a time when women couldn't vote, they couldn't sign contracts, they couldn't own businesses. So Bertha becomes the contract. She can't get a seat at the opera house, which is very high status, because she's not good enough. She comes from bad people. She's, Irish descent and not so good in New York in that time. So she can't get a seat in the opera house. So guess what she does? She buys a new opera house and she influences everyone in the old house to come join her. She is such a badass and everyone thinks she's so tacky, but man, she is making shit happen. She's also a mother who is determined that her daughter will have a great and powerful life and never be a pawn in the game of life. But at first, her daughter Gladys doesn't want greatness. She wants something normal. She wants love. She wants safety. She wants to pick her own husband. She wants all of that. But Bertha knows that normal is a cage for women like her and her daughter. She doesn't want to be caged. And it's the same for actors. Normal is a cage. Now, as I said, we like normies, but we are not normies. You want more from life. So Bertha pushes her daughter. She trains her. She arms her with strategy and style and steel, and she will not relent. She will not let her be less than she has the potential to be. She wants her to marry a duke, and she makes that shit happen. And that's how we coach too. And I see Donna-Marie raise Mariana like this. You may think Donna-Marie has soft, dulcet tones, but if she wants Mariana to get something in her life, she will be demanding. And I'm the same with my son. But Donna and I are not here to raise socialites. We're here to help actors build legacies. We introduce actors to opportunities like Bertha introduced her daughter to a duke.
Yeah. And like we introduced our actors to producers, casting directors, and agents at our last in-person workshop. But first, we make sure that they're ready, right? We teach you exactly what you need to do to book those lead roles without connections, self-taping at home, right? Actors resist the work sometimes. Of course they do. But guess what? We don't flinch. Because Casey and I, we are not here to be liked. Believe that.
We're here to prepare you for the dream you want. And you think we're too tough sometimes? That's good, because the industry is tougher. We train actors to own the room, to become the actors that book the lead roles. But how do we do that? Well, Bertha is a mentor archetype. We are mentors. If you know that, you can easily play that archetype. So we teach actors to play archetypes, and they can easily play them. They can book the roles because they already know the characters. So, for example, other archetypes you might know of that are mentors are Mr. Miyagi or Doc from Back to the Future or Yoda. Greg, we were talking about these with you yesterday, so we thought we'd mention them again. And Gladys, she thinks she's an innocent. So an innocent is how girls in the Gilded Age were bred to see themselves. We are innocent. We are good. She's new to the scene. She needs to be schooled. So if you, by the mentor, obviously, so if you know the innocent, you can easily play the innocent. And you've seen the innocent before. That's Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, right? Bending the world to be innocent. And the interesting thing about Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, he makes his whole world be innocent because his mother was his mentor. And he never knew that his mother had to sleep with someone to get him into school. He never knew how hard the world was. And then he went out and made the world he wanted to. And the only way we knew how crushing it was for him to be seen as stupid innocent was when he saw his young son and said, is he smart?
Yeah, now listen, you
Great.
guys, great performance. Absolutely. You guys have all seen these archetypes, right? So what we do in Audition Plus is prep our students to know the archetypes before they get the audition.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do is learn the given circumstances and book the role, even if you're scared, even if you suck at self-tape. So as you guys know, when you get an audition, you don't have weeks to prep it, right? You've got maybe a day or two at most. So what most actors do is try to create this whole entire character in 1 or 2 days. It doesn't work. They're trying to reinvent the wheel, right? But not our actors. They already have it prepped. They already have their mentor character prepped. They already have the hero. They already have the villain. They have it prepped. So all they have to do is add the lines. It's really, really incredible. And that's why we have so much success. So, what I would like to ask you guys today, and you can go ahead and pop it in the chat, is what archetypes do you typically see in film and TV? So, go ahead and pop it in the chat. What archetypes in the shows that you are watching or movies do you typically see in film and TV? Beth is saying Casey, that hit phenomenal. Virginia saying the ruler and the bully. Absolutely. Ali saying the lover, the ruler, the victim. Michael saying the villain. Christopher
Yep.
says the fool and the villain. Absolutely. You
Outcast.
see.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the hero, the rebel, the villain, the bully, the victim, the innocent, the fool. Yes, absolutely, you guys. You see these archetypes over and over and over and over, right?
So
That's what
good.
you see in film and TV. And as I said earlier, what most people try to do is create this in a day or two. It's not possible. Not if you want to have a great self-tape. But if you have that archetype created already, all you've got to do is pop in those lines. The leader, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So the ruler type archetype.
I
Um,
love what Christopher is saying that Deadpool is probably the biggest of fools. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're seeing it. So you can see how if you know how to play it,
yeah, it's easy.
you're in. You're in. Yeah, Tracy, that's right. Victim, villain, caregiver. These are all great archetypes. So once you know that, you can do it. But what's really interesting is sometimes a character will be a mix of archetypes. Some archetypes will change, like going from the innocent to the ruler, like Gladys will hopefully in her life. But look at Mr. Miyagi, for example. Now, if you haven't seen The Karate Kid, what the hell are you doing with your life? But Mr. Miyagi is, other than Yoda, the best mentor ever. The best. And he can be nothing but a mentor. That is what he is 100% through and through. But then you take Doc, another great mentor, right? Doc from Back to the Future. Has everybody seen Back to the Future? Again, if you haven't, what are you doing with your life? Um, he's also the mad scientist. So you've got a little bit of the mentor, you've got the mad scientist as the mentor.
Yeah, so it's a
You can
mix
mix them.
of both of them.
Yeah. So, shall we recap what you learned? You
I
look to the future? Yay! So
know
good.
how to do those. If you have all of those prepped, it's easy to mix. But if you get a character like Doc and you don't have the, so what? Now you're trying to create two different characters? It's not gonna book.
It's not. And you're just going to look like you're making a mess of things. So you've
Mm,
got to become sophisticated at this. You've got to become good at this. And look, not everybody teaches this. They just don't. And this is one of the reasons that our clients have so much success because they are and there are all sorts of obstacles in film and television. Like you're going to come up with obstacles anyway. You don't need to be reinventing the wheel all the time.
every single audition.
Every single audition. That's just a lot of work for you to do. And it's a lot of work for you to do anyway.
Hmm.
So I want to recap what you've learned because it's important for you to have this in your mind, okay? So I don't need you to be taking notes. I need you to understand this and do the work. You smell what I'm cooking? By
Yeah.
what I'm picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, good. You learned that archetypes are not just a theory, they're a secret language of casting. And mastering the archetype makes you bookable on site. They can see it in you. They know who you are. And you've learned that being normal, like a good actor, is not enough. It's a cage. And you were never meant to live in a cage. You were never meant to live small. You know that, right? You
Yeah.
know that. You've known this since you were a kid, that this is what you were meant for. And you've learned how real mentorship will challenge you to grow. And it prepares you for the fire and it helps you build a career, not just like a gig, like not just one role. It helps you have a career.
Yeah. 100% Casey. So listen, if you're here and if you want mentorship that's not soft, I'll be honest, but it's life changing. If you want to stop playing normal and start building something extraordinary, then train with us and become the actor that you always knew you were meant to be. Now, listen, I'm going to pop the link in for you for Audition Plus right now. So if you want it, copy and paste.
Yeah. You know, it makes me think about the actors that we've coached before and some of the actors that we're coaching now and watching them build their careers. And one of the things that I think is universal is successful actors will do anything to get into class. It's their priority. They do the work and they do not let fear rule their decisions. They just do what it takes.
Yeah. And listen, we may be mean
Courage.
girl mentors. It's so true, Casey. And we may be mean girl mentors, but we have a lot of heart too. And nobody does this alone, right? So you want us on your side because what you really need are mentors who have a proven track record of helping actors get to the top. So if that's your dream, then let's get your career on track. I'm going to pop that link in for you one more time. And then I think, Casey, we're going to say that's a wrap for us. I will just say, whoever you choose as your mentors, do research. Of course, we want it to be us, but do some research. Have they mentored people to the type of success that you want? And if
Mm-hmm.
they haven't, then it's time to choose a new mentor. And we know that our actors, the success they've had can speak for themselves. So we're happy to have you look into that. Malcolm says, thank you, ladies. These lessons really do help. Thank you for this wonderful classes. Taylor, you are so, so welcome. It is absolutely our pleasure to be able to come here and share this with you. Brian says, also some fun, cool people in the community. Casey and Donna-Marie model the level of work you need to achieve success. Thank you, Brian. That's so, so kind of you. We love having you in class. Kara says, I've got a couple mentors, but having Casey and Donna-Marie believe in me has made such a difference in helping me to believe in myself and book. Kara, you're a booking
And
machine.
book, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. We love to see you doing that work. How often are the classes per week? Justin's asking. It will technically, we have 2 live classes a week, Justin, and a recorded class. So technically 3 classes a week, but everything that we do is recorded so that if we have a lot of actors who are very successful, they're working actors, they might be on set or, maybe you have a day job if you're just starting out. So everything is recorded so that you can go ahead and watch it afterwards if you aren't able to make it to one of the classes. Ryan says, thank you. Your energy always resonates on a high level. You're so welcome, Ryan. Greg says, real life actions speak volumes, and I can't wait to start working together. We're excited to start working with you too, Greg. We really, really
Agreed.
are.
Agreed.
Christopher says Audition Plus is such a great place to learn and improve.
Thanks,
Wonderful.
Christopher.
And Kara's reminding us there's also a
Oh,
monthly
right.
too. There is. So we have those 3 weekly classes and an end of the month class where we wrap everything up live all together for what
Yeah, I want to explain the why behind this a little bit, Donna Marie, so that people understand why we coach the way we do. One of the reasons that we have the classes, so we have 4 recorded classes that you get per month, so you can go back and watch them over and over again. Then we have the live classes on Thursday, and once a month we have the Q&A on Saturday. And the reason we do them like this is we want to coach professional actors. And professional actors sometimes are on set or sometimes are at auditions. So they can't get to class all of the time. So what we've done is given you a class that you can watch over and over again so that you can learn it, because repetition helps you learn. But
Mm-hmm.
here's another thing that has always, since I was an actor and in acting class, I'm a 100% mentor and acting coach now, as is Donna-Marie. But when I was in class, one thing that I found extremely irritating, actually, there's two things that I found extremely irritating. A coach that would talk about themselves nonstop. Who cares? Yes, you were on X-Files in the 80s or 90s. That's wonderful. Yes, David Duchovny said you had talent. Very good. And some of you are going like, who's David Duchovny? Exactly. I mean, he's a good actor, he's a good person, but it's not relevant to you as an actor. The second thing is the coaches who would only coach certain people in class. You could tell they were only giving their energy to certain clients. The way we operate allows us to coach everybody equally, and it's all about you. It's all about your career. It's all about moving you forward, you individually. So when you upload your work into class, we're looking at it and we're going, oh, they need to adjust this. We're watching the scenes over and over again. So you do our class, you upload your scene like a self-tape into our Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and we're watching that and we're going, they need this.
Yeah. How can
All
we
about
help
you.
them move forward? Yeah. And then once a week, we have an office hours where we get together and we chat about your career. So we're not only working on your self tapes and helping you become a better actor, we're working on your career. So what that means is you come in with questions like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Am I ready to get a new agent? Or, I got this audition and it says this and this in the breakdown. What does that mean? Can you help me with that? So this is a live chat where we all get together as a group and you learn so much, not only from us, but from hearing the other actors' questions, right? It's really quite incredible. So it is a wonderful way to teach and a wonderful community. And as Brian said, the community is really one of the best parts.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Casey, I think we're going to say that is a wrap for us. Kara says it's also helpful. There's also helpful documents for people new to the business, like documents and do's and
Right.
don'ts for getting agents, etc. There is absolutely, Kara. Thank you for pointing that out.
I also point out the practice scripts and the 12-week daily practice as well. So there's lots of extra resources in there that people should be taking advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
for people who are already in, actually, Care, that's a really good point. Yeah. And everyone who's not in and wants to get in, it's a good one.
Yeah, so join us in Audition Plus. If you are serious about turning this dream into a career, then join us now and we can't wait to work with you. I've popped that link in one more time. If you want it, copy and paste because we are going to say that's a wrap, Casey, because we have some coaching to do.
We do.
All right. We
All
will
right.
see
We'll see you on
you
screen.